All right, today we're going to cover the double fisherman's knot. This knot is used for tying two ropes together that are of equal diameter. So don't use unequal diameter ropes. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to find both ends you want to tie together, and just put them so that they're parallel to each other, sort of like this. Okay, take one, and what we're going to do is we're going to work from right to left. We're going to do that twice. Let's make that just a little bit longer. So from right to left, and then where that X forms, we're going to go underneath and go back the other way. Okay, that's what you should end up with. And basically at this point it is just sliding on this other rope. So if we go the other way, just flip it around, and we're going to do the same thing. From left to right again, once, twice. We're going to find our X, go underneath, go through our X, pull it tight. Okay, at this point, they're both sliding on each strand, just like that. We want to pull the strands, and we want to pull it tight. Okay, so on one side you should have 4 parallel strands with each other, and then you should have a nice crossing pattern on the back side. And that is a double fisherman's knot used for tying two ropes together. Or a loop. You can also make loops out of these. And a classic example would be like a prusik loop. We use a double fisherman's to tie a tie a prusik loop together. Okay. So we can do that. Let me show it on one side real quick how we do that. Number one problem you'll have is you'll have this too short. Well, I did it the first time myself. So bring it over, 2 wraps. Okay, stick your finger in between those 2 strands, stick your rope through, pull it tight, and then cinch her tight. That's your double fisherman's knot. Now, once you know that knot, it lends itself to other knots that are extremely similar to this. And the most easy one to demonstrate is a safety on a bowline. It's virtually the same knot. So if I take my rope and I tie a bowline, okay, so here's my bowline. And again, a bowline's prone to coming loose if it's in the wind or what have you. Okay, I can take my tail and I can tie basically half of a double fisherman's knot on the loop. 1, 2, and stick it through the center. Okay, and there's my safety for a bowline. Now, another thing we can do with the same knot, same technique, is we can tie a stopper knot. So if you are rappelling and you're not certain if your rope is hitting the ground before you go off that cliff or what have you, you can tie a stopper knot on it to make sure that you don't rappel off the end of your rope. And you just find the end of the rope. A lot of guys like to come up about 2 feet. That way, if you were to jam the knot against your device, you still have enough rope to do something with. But you're just coming up 2 turns, and then you're going to stick it through the center, and that forms a nice little stopper knot. So as you rappel If you were to hit your hand on this, you know automatically to stop your descent. Okay, and this knot won't allow your rope to go through the device and rappel up into this rope. So it's handy little knot to know. And I'll show you one more version. And if we come over here, I've just got a carabiner here, and this is called a scaffold knot, but it's basically half of a double fisherman's. And a lot of people use that to secure a knot onto a carabiner so it stays fixed in place. Okay, so come up here, find your end, and we want to come up 2 wraps again, just like that, and then come through our center. Okay, so let's set this knot. You just want to pull, and since we don't want this tight, just give it a good yank. Okay, so if we take this carabiner off, now we have a rope that's tied to a carabiner that's going to stay in place. So we don't have to worry about this loop going everywhere on the carabiner and potentially interfering with our gate. Okay, so that's called a scaffold knot, but literally it's half of a double fisherman's. Okay, hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one.